channel just to check we are hearing you. Okay. I'm going to check in the settings. So for properties, we should use USB
Sorry
speakers.
for that.
Yes. This is, I don't see your face, but it's because I crop the
I,
window meet.
my face is showing half.
Yeah, sorry. I'm going to. It's because I cropped the window, but I cropped like for the last session, and the window has right now has a different size. Give me a second.
I, my face is showing half.
Because I'm here. I'm hearing myself on
Yeah,
your
me
mic,
too.
but it's working, right? I can hear you in the stream. Cool. Okay, so I was working with this. We are going to leave it on 0 for the left. So from the right, from the bottom, I think we are right on the bottom, and the top from the bottom, 500. Like about that. Too much. 900. 950. Yeah, kind of, right? I see you better.
Yeah, it is now clear.
Yeah, it's better. And I leave like an space on the left for a banner, but I didn't finish it. Let me a second, maybe I can create a fast one. So computers. I was looking for a template, but I think if I write computer, it's going to find something more easily. Um, technology. I'm just diving in the template of Canva to create something quick. Uh, so this is our startup. Oh, let's use this one. So we're putting Ortelius community. This is edge with friends. And we are going to see learning Kubernetes stuff. From October. I'm going to say from October. I don't think we have already like an official launch for this. I feel more we are playing around and learning until we get in a good stream and
Yeah,
good videos. I
you
mean,
have to
we are
share your
learning.
screen.
Yeah. October. Okay, and we are in.
Uh,
Let's go.
Share your screen, please. I am not seeing anything.
Yeah, sorry. It's not necessary. I just creating a quick banner. Let me know what you think.
Oh,
And changes of
okay.
color. I'm going to expose. Almost there. Almost there. Need to change this to this one. No, that's not a nice color. But it's a good color for a computer, like gray, right? I'm just going to leave it gray.
It looks fine also.
Okay, download. No, let me a PDF. This is going to be better in a PNG. Yeah, probably. loading. I almost there. Here. Okay, this is cool. We're going to add it to the scene and a new image. New image. This is going to be touch with friends. And the image is here is too big. That was too big. Like that, like that, like that. What do you think? Oh, the other is like too small. Some of the fonts are too small. I need to change that. Okay, but the main text is readable, so I'm going just to leave it. Okay. To put this here, like this. Okay, that's enough to start. Okay, this retake from yesterday. We're having some issues to pull in the image, remember? So I want to check if we are already connected. So keep CTL, yeah, we're having this error pulling the OpenShift Hello World latest. Okay, let's troubleshoot this and fix it. I can say like that should end default. I think should be some more. No. So far from yesterday, you have any question, Arvin?
No.
I'm going to delete this to try to get more logs. Okay.
Will you share the screen or I have to watch the stream?
You're checking the stream.
Yeah. Will you share the screen or I have to watch the stream? Yeah.
Well, for sure, I'm going to add some music at the background when we edit this. We have like an awkward silent moment, but it's just because, you know, I'm a man and I'm a man in technology, so my head cannot do so many things at the time. Yeah, and I have to say that streaming, solving, and working is like pretty hard. I thought like playing video games and streaming was hard, but this is more harder. Okay.
Yeah, because we have to continue working on this stuff.
It's too much. It's too much. Okay, we're just going to Google this, okay, because it's a real weird error. Well, not so weird. I'm pretty sure I solved this at some point. I don't remember what is the issue in this case. So from registry. Oh yeah, sure. I'm going to add the one more. Oh, it's so annoying that I cannot use my grids. I'm going to add the browser to the scene. So I need window capture. Window capture, like we are going to say Google. an issue here that is similar, like looking up from registry server misbehaving. This is like the thing we're having. So for this guy, it says uninstall, reinstall, matching differently. What is this? It looks like it's a little bit related with the daemon. Uh, that's going to be complicated.
Yeah,
It sounds more like our version of the daemon that is not Docker. It's Podman. We are having issues. You know, at this point, I think I'm going to change from my server because I'm having a lot of issues working with CentOS 7. Like yesterday, I have to install like a lot of new reports, and I see a lot of issues in internet using CentOS 7 and containers. So pretty much, I have to say like and recommend you that don't use CentOS 7 if you like CentOS, move out to CentOS 8 because there is a lot of issues using containers on CentOS 7. Okay, I'm going to move out to another server. This is the first server we were using. Remember at the beginning we tried to use Helm. So
yeah,
I'm going to change to the server with Helm because that server is Fedora 34, I think so, and containers, Fedora Rails are pretty much the same. So I really focusing on containers, and like usually you don't have any issue using that distro. Okay, so let me change from server. Um, this one. I'm going to hide this, and it looks like, yeah, I took this computer and move it to a different place and probably change the IP. Let me check. I will be here. I will be back in a minute. Okay, it's funny. I configured that computer to like automatically connect to the Wi-Fi, but not to the cable. Fun stuff. I don't know. I mess up with the configuration. Okay, here we are
uh,
on Fedora. Pretty sure I have a repo here because I always do that.
uh, can you share your screen? I'm still getting the same blank page.
Really, I see in the stream that I look. You don't see the terminal?
No, you
Really?
didn't screen share it.
Wow.
I am watching it in the stream, but there's a lagging. So can you share it in the meeting?
Wait a sec. Ah, here. I didn't understand that. Sorry. I thought you were talking about the stream.
Oh, yeah.
The bad thing is I'm going to miss. going to yeah, it will not see your camera on this on the stream. That's okay.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. I still see you. A part of you, but I still see you. Good.
Yeah, it is visible now. Thanks.
Let's go. So we were having a project dev file. I think it was this basic. No, I can create a new one. It's not a thing. I'm going just to copy the manifest we have here and continue. So I think we have a deployment here. Where is it? I think it's my home. So homes, git, server. Where is URLs? Yes, it is. It's over here. Where is it? Well, I can get you from from the server. So kubectl get deployment. So when you want to just get your deployment information, you can do get deployment and tell it like, hey, I wanted to output that thing on YAML format, and he is going to grab the content for you. Okay, so you can do that if you want to copy the definition. I pretty much need this. Wait, just need what I have. Sorry, I didn't put the name of the deployment, so that's bad because he gave me an arrange of deployment if I don't specify one. Okay, so if you add the name of deployment, you are going to have a more normal output because the other one was like items because it was like an arrange of deployments of YAMLs. Okay.
And that we get this all data from the Kubernetes API.
Yeah, he just asked to the Kubernetes API what is the definition he already load on the server. Okay.
Okay.
So always you can like recover what you manifest load on into Kubernetes. So I'm going to copy this. So I'm going to create here a new folder. We're going to call it I'm still like getting used to it to write without seeing the keyboard. So if you seem like messing around with the keys, it's just because that I had like
Yeah.
my keyboard is under my desktop just to not see it.
Okay, it's fine.
Okay, here I'm just going to work here. So let's create a new file. Hello world deployment channel. Later I'm going to show you a more easy way to create this, but when you're like learning, uh, sometimes it's good to learn to do it stuff from the scratch. But usually you are not going to do that. Okay.
Okay.
Names, labels. I'm going to recover not this. I'm going to pick this. And after that, I think we only need the spec until here. You've never copied an status from a YAML from Kubernetes because the status is like automatically filled by Kubernetes when he instantiate a deployment. Okay, so remember to never like save this.
So the data that is visible to us is the from already deployed
Yeah.
hello world example, and we are just taking the data from it to make our own own YAML file from the scratch.
Yes. So there is some data on that manifest that is loaded on Kubernetes. You don't need it because when you're do or instantiate in another cluster, Kubernetes is going to fill it for you. So remember the status is always like fields for Kubernetes when he's working with the manifest. Okay? And there is a
Okay.
few more like the ID when was created, self-link, metadata that you don't need. I jumped over that, but you see that I skip the UID, resource version, namespace too, because if you write the namespace, you're going to be like obligated to use that namespace, and if you skip it, it's going to create it wherever you were in that moment. Well, these annotations is pretty much like metadata when Kubernetes last apply configuration. So when the last time he did something, he's going to fill this. Okay, you can totally skip that. Okay, cool. We have here. Let's check if we have a cluster here because we're. I wanted to try something really fun that I see a few days ago. That is kind. There is a get me started. I think so. Sorry, I'm not going to share this part because it's going to be a really quick. I just want to get you started. I just want to copy you an script. It's really quick. So kind cluster. Kind Kubernetes, kind case. Case. I don't know why I'm doing this if I I have taken shirt in this way. Where is another one? The Google Meet? No, the Google. This one. Okay. So here, if I go to kind Kubernetes, there is a quick start with the registry. Where are you, man? Where are you? Design, configuration, quick start, load balancer, private registry. It's this one. Yeah. So there is moving to get node cluster. I think it's this one. So this is going to set a kind cluster. It's going to have a Docker config. It's going to create a configuration file. It's not this one.
Are
Local
you searching for
registry.
something?
Yeah, I'm looking for this. I'm going to show. I want to show you here that if you go to kind, there is an example script for local registry. So this is. Let me copy it and put it in the other terminal because it's going to look better. So there is one script that it's called kind, because image registry is a really big thing when you're using containers on Kubernetes. Always you need to have like a, well, it's recommend like having a local registry, um, because you don't really need to go to public registry every single time, and there is sometimes that are you are going to create for your image for yourself, and you don't want to like using exports and local image on the machine. Okay, and if your cluster of Kubernetes has like a lot of nodes, probably it's going to be really painful to exporting and importing the container image to every node. So there is a good thing to have a local registry. Okay, this script is a script from is in the page of kind. That is the Kubernetes, the local Kubernetes we are using. And the fun thing, they have like this script, like you can just copy paste the content. And this script is pretty much doing, okay, he set like the registry name and the port. After that, he look if there is already a container from this registry running on your computer. So if it's not, he's going to create a container to run on this machine, the same place where the same machine where is your kind cluster running. Um, of course, this is a container image of a container registry server, for saying some way. Okay. After that, he's going to create on the fly a definition for a kind cluster. Remember that in kind, you can do a create cluster, and he's going to create a cluster by default, but you can use a manifest to create the cluster. There is a kind cluster, right? And you can like specify already what are the configurations for that cluster. On this point, he's like patching the configuration of this Kubernetes cluster, and is adding the plugin to automatically config that this Kubernetes cluster is going to use a mirror registry, and that mirror registry is going to work on local. Okay, so he's like creating your kind cluster, and it's already integrating the cluster with this container that is a container registry. Okay, after that,
Uh,
he's going to connect the Kubernetes cluster with the Kubernetes registry, because both of those are Docker images. And remember, if you want to connect two Docker images, you need to connect by a virtual network. Okay, so this instruction, Docker Network Connect, is pretty much saying, okay, container registry connect to the container Kubernetes cluster, because at the end are two Kubernetes. So he's connecting the both, because even if the both container are working in your machine, by default they are not connected. Okay, you cannot assume that a container can see other container just because are running on the same node. Remember, they running in a software defined network. Okay, so there are in by default in different network. Okay, so I connect the two containers to integrate it. This is what
okay.
this is doing. So it's nice because they put it in the kind page, so you can just grab this content, save it. You need to, of course, give in the execution permissions to this file, and after that you can just run it. Let me check if we have some kind cluster run here. Kind status. Or if it has the no kind create export get help load version get clusters. Error failing. Okay, this is cluster. Okay, for get permission denied, registry connected Docker. Docker Podman is running. I'm going just to do it more easily with sudo. I don't want to start like uninstalling Docker and installing Podman Docker and stuff like that. Not right now. Okay, there is a kind cluster, so I'm going to erase that. Kind delete cluster.
And that is the same cluster we made yesterday.
We are going to create a new one that is pretty much the same that we were using yesterday. The only difference is going to be connected to a local registry. That's the only difference, okay?
Okay.
So after that, we can do like a sudo. I can just change to root because I'm pretty sure we are going just to use sudo. We need root to the most part of the commands. We are gonna to execute this sh. So I would say he's going to try to run the image for the registry. He checked that we don't have the image locally, so he downloaded it. After that, he created the manifest, and now is created the cluster based on that manifest. Okay, you can do like a kind cluster create dash config, and you point to your config file for that. Okay, and it's going to do all the config. It's pretty handy because sometimes you need by default he just create one container with the all-in-one container of Kubernetes, but you can uh, you can change like the version of the image of the control plane of Kubernetes of some of the component, and you can do like a configuration about what component in what nodes are going to be. So if you have like a few machines of your local network, or maybe you have a cloud with a few nodes, you can have like all the definition of your Kubernetes cluster or kind cluster in a one manifest. So it's really handy. So you can like spin up your Kubernetes cluster with all the configuration just in one command. So it's really good. It's really nice.
La- like we had a Docker compose file in the Docker in which we got all the commands listed live, similar to that.
Sorry, I didn't hear well that again.
Like we have Docker compose file
Oh
for
yeah,
doing the same. That is it similar to that?
yeah, it's kind of, but yes, at the end the idea is pretty much having like a template on a definition that is going to instantiate everything. Yeah, in that way, yeah, it's pretty similar. Oh my god,
Hey,
my neck is killing me. I've been so many time on front of computer these days. But it's okay. We are close to the end of the week. Okay, so it's ending, but I remember the script has a few more post configuration, like the connect the container registry to the cluster. For sure, he's doing that. Um, Let me check here. Yeah, you should be doing like the Docker network connect, and after that, applying the config map into the cluster to have the reference to the local registry. So it's pretty much doing Docker network connect, and after that, doing kubectl apply for a config map. Let's wait. Just you see, there's the config map. Probably the Docker Network Connect. It has like he's piping the Docker Network Connect to a true. So if it works, it's just like pass. Okay, it's not like if it's failed, it just will end the abort the script. But he ended. Okay, so at this point we have a kind cluster with a local registry. Something that is nice because right now we can download the hello world image and we can push that image to this local registry. So our Kubernetes cluster is it has not is it has not the necessity to go to the internet to get the image. Okay, let me show you how. So we're going. What was the name? Hello world deployment. Hello world deployment. Here is the name of the image. So I grab it. Right now I can do like a Docker tool for this image. So right now it's in my local Docker registry. For example, I can do like a Docker images, and there is, but that is like my Docker daemon registry. It's not like a server itself. Now I can tag that. So I can do a Docker tag. I'm going to use this image with all the tag I have. That is latest. It's latest, right? Yeah, it's latest. And I can tag it to my local registry. My local registry is just local registry. Dutch, I usually just put the same name to remember from where that image comes. So I can tag that, and after that I can push it. So I can do Docker push, and the name of the image. So now it's pushing my local image from my Docker daemon to my local registry that is like a server that is running on my machine, and a server that is connected to the Kubernetes cluster. And the Kubernetes cluster by default says, hey, I'm going to try to look up when somebody asks me for an image, I'm going to try to look it here first. Okay, if I don't get it, I'm going to try to go to the default public registry. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so right now we are going to go to our cluster, like just checking that we are connected. So it's look like we are connected. Just in case, I'm going to do this. We are going to create a new namespace. Sorry. Where is my gate? Where is CTL create namespace or manifest. We are deploying a manifest to check what is if now can pull the image correctly again. So kubectl create dash f. Yeah.
You have put the create spelling wrong.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. This is my age. No, I need this one. We're going to create it in the Ortelius namespace. Ortelius. Okay, split fails. So our deployment has. Oh, I skipped the version. That's my bad because probably I just copy, but yeah, I don't have the version. My bad. It should be version 1, but let me check it. Yeah. Remember, always have an API version. So you're going to need it. Okay. created, and now we're going to check what is happening. Uh, Container creating, that's cool because he's not failing with the pulling the image. That's good news, okay? Let me check for the context for QCTL. I usually have like an alias to change it from namespace, but I don't remember. So set namespace. So I always have like an QCDL cheat sheet because there is some commands that are too long for that. So for namespace, namespace, set context is this one. So set context current namespace to Ortelius because I'm lazy and I don't want to add in the context every time to dash and Ortelius. So we're saving some time. So now we can do like a kubectl get bot. And it's running! Wonderful. Let's check the logs. No, it's just logs. So it says it's serving on the in 88. Let's check that. So we only have okay, we're going to do two tests, okay? First one, we are going to connect to the container. Oh yeah, sorry, that's my bad. I always mix exec, I think it was exec. kubectl exec. Yeah, it should be like this. So we are going to send an command to the pod just to like, because remember we only have the deployment. By default, you don't have a connection to your pod. You need to have go to your pod using a service inside the cluster if you want to other pod connect to that pod, and if you want to expose that to our local machine or other machine, you need to create like an ingress controller or like a cluster IP that is going to attach like the IP of the pod to the host, and then you can expose it. But by default, your container is not to have is not, you don't have like a way to connect to your container. But right now, the fastest way to check is like connect in the pod itself and try to maybe do a curl in the same pod. Okay. So the name of the pod, and then I give like the some command. So I can do like I think it was something like that. I think I can do like a curl. Let me check if we can do a curl. So it's like exec is deprecated and will be removed in production. Use exec pod dash dash. Okay, so it said don't do that. Do an exec, give the name of the pod, and then dash dash, and then your command. Check if working. So also runtime failed. Container Linux starting container because current server file not found in path. Okay, he don't know what is cur. It's just that. Maybe let me check what is the name of the sec date explorer file not found in path. I have to give it the
Because we have a space between the double dash and the date.
Executing commands inside a container is a weird thing because by default we always think that you are in a normal environment, like where when you are using batch. By default, everyone thinks that you are in a batch environment where like all your binaries, contexts, ems are like uh, already ready to use. Okay, but usually in container is a really small version of a Linux, so there is a lot of stuff that you assume by default you have it, but you're not going to have it. And this moment usually I use is not going to able to know because by default he's not loading all your binaries in the context, for example. Okay, that is what happened here. So usually if you want to execute something in a container, you're going to need to like put the complete path where the binary is. Okay,
Okay.
and there is some containers that run like in a normal Linux environment, but are more heavy because if you have like more things like environments or a batch environment, you're just like
Yeah.
remember we want to like uh, having just a container that is going to do, I don't know, some specific stuff. You don't need like it works like an desktop. You don't need that. Okay, you just need to be able to execute your application. Okay, so that's not working well. We are going to do like the normal thing that is accessed by service and for English controller or cluster IP. But by the time we are going to stop here. The good news is our application is working, our manifest is working. We're having a cluster, kind cluster with local registry, and it's working because we push that image to the local registry, and right now we deploy that image inside the cluster using that local registry. So it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot. I think we should like grab what we do today. Um, Probably we it's going to be like better if we do some diagrams or some kind of presentation to like complementing this session and have a graphic way to understand why we do it, because it's not so easy if somebody watch this stream and see like sometimes it's not too so easy to understand. So probably it's good like a good idea do a wrap up. Maybe I'm going to share you like a Google presentation just to you can help me to ensure what we learn on this session. Okay, but
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
happy. I'm happy because I think we do a lot of stuff on this session. What do you think?
Yeah, that will be a great idea to do some graphical things.
Yeah, we have a, like we grab a container, we create a manifest, we create a cluster, we create a local registry, we pull that image, we push it into the cluster, and then we do the deploy, and the container at this point is like working. Okay, it's working and it's healthy. Okay, so
Yeah.
all
Okay.
that in one session, yeah, it's a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Irving, we are going to stop here today. At this point, but I to Friday maybe we can have like 3 sessions, something like that, because it's really fun when you are going like 1 hour day to day. I feel we're moving more faster than a random session every week. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's try to keep like an a cadence for this session, but I think we are going doing great. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will make notes today.
Well, if you have time, of course, but we will get the right moment to have it.
Yeah.
Okay,
That
Arvin.
will be awesome.
Have a good day, friend. Thank you for joining me. I hope you learn. And if you not, we're going just to do these complementary documents that is going to be fun and going to be useful for everyone. So let's keep in touch and keep working.